welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Decades Challenge. The year is 1318, and we have officially made it through the Great Famine. It wasn't too deadly for our main household, but we did lose our main sim Frederick last year, and so we are starting off the post-famine years with Braden as our main sim for Gen 2, seen here looking still quite sad over the loss of his father. We have quite a few things on our plate this year. Alexander and Gabriella both have their birthdays, Gemma is going to be giving birth, and of course the people have spoken. And a spouse has been selected for Braden. So we are also going to be getting him at least engaged, and if we have time, I will also be getting him married. Oh, and let's not forget, we also need to check whether or not we are going to get a little souvenir as a result of Frederick Jr. and Eleonora's autonomous woohoo last year. So we are just starting off the day with everybody getting a bit of breakfast. Everybody is still super sad about Frederick passing away. So rude. Gabriella dislikes malicious interactions. Yeah, I think that fits for her. Oh, visitor at the door, and what do you know? We have Eleonora who is here to see Frederick because, would you look at that? She has a little baby bump. She doesn't look too upset over it though. I am going to have Frederick come and greet her, and I am going to take control of her so that she can let him know that she is expecting a baby, and he is very likely the father. Apparently all she can do is ask if he wants children. Yeah, why not? And you know what? I'm actually going to make sure that he doesn't want children because he is unflirty, and he also rolled not to have children. So I am going to fix that right away. I'm assuming it might be because she's a teen. She can't actually tell him about her pregnancy, so I'm just going to have them have a discuss sad mood, and I think I might also exchange name ideas. No, he is not going to be very enthused about this situation. She is going to tell him about the pregnancy, and of course he is going to say that he doesn't want kids at the moment. She is probably expecting him to propose, but being an unflirty sim, he is not going to do that. They might even get into an argument, which appears to be happening autonomously. Ask what Eleonora's problem is. Actually, maybe she is going to initiate the argument. I'm going to say pressure to conform in the sense that she expects him to take responsibility for what has happened and they should be getting married. She's going to ask him what his problem is. Things are just not going to go very well. And I think he's just going to tell her, go away. Just let me stew in my bitterness and peace. Some things are hard to forget or forgive, okay? Okay. That was a dramatic sound effect. Okay, so she has just left, and Frederick is left here feeling sad. Braden is going to have a bit of a conversation with his brother as well. Deep conversation. Why not? Yeah, having this conversation with everybody in the room might not be the most appropriate thing there is, so I'm gonna have these guys come and start working on the farm while the brothers, the twins, have a discussion about what has happened between Frederick and Eleonora. All right, so everybody's on their way out, and I am having the brothers sit down for a bit of a conversation here. See, I have a feeling Braden is going to question why Frederick isn't going to propose to Eleonora, and beyond being unflirty, one very good reason that Frederick has not to propose to her is that he doesn't actually have any land of his own. He doesn't have any money. He has nothing to support a family, which is something I think Braden hadn't entirely realized. You know, he inherited from his parents, and he is, well, from his father. And as the oldest son, he is kind of secure, but this turn of events has him a bit worried about all of these siblings that he is going to need to provide for. And this might actually be what convinces him to marry Fatima over the other candidates simply because he knows that she and her father and Quentin have many contacts around the community and in other kingdoms, and it might actually open doors for his siblings. I guess while we're discussing this, I might as well mention how I'm going to be going about the inheritance. So I am going to ignore our household funds, and we are just going to take a look at how much the lot is worth. And I am going to take that value and divide it by the number of children that we have. So we've got 51,720. So we're going to divide that in 10 because there are 9 surviving children and there is Gabriella. And so everybody is entitled to 5,172 simoleons, which is what Brayden is going to owe each of his siblings going forward. So the goal is going to be to have Brayden pay all of his siblings by the time they reach 21 years of age. So right now he doesn't really owe anything to anyone, but that will be coming soon. And the situation with Frederick and Eleonora is going to get him thinking, how can he set his siblings up for success and make sure that they all get married soon, especially because Brayden is going to want to have his own children in the house, and things are going to get complicated if he also needs to look out for all of his siblings. So I guess he wants them to go and leave the nest and be able to support themselves as quickly as possible. Fatima, Quentin, and their father are going to be the best people to help him with that. You know, if Brayden had been Frederick, he probably would have married Eleonora anyways, and he would have just figured things out. Because Eleonora is actually the only child of the miller, so she would have inherited a mill, but Frederick is an animal enthusiast. I don't think he really wants to inherit the mill with Eleonora, and, you know, he didn't really have much of a romantic bar with her, and she was the one who initiated everything. So I think deep down, poor Frederick here doesn't even want to marry Eleonora. He doesn't actually love her all that much. He thinks she's attractive, but that might be where his feelings end, which is pretty sad for her. But, you know, this is just who this guy is, I guess. We are going to have Brayden get changed. Oh, perfect. He did it on his own. And we are going to have him go and visit Fatima to ask her a very important question. And of course, he is also going to speak with her father or her guardian. I'm going to wait before we do any birthdays. I'm going to get Frederick... I was going to say I'm going to get Frederick engaged before we get sad, but he's already sad from his father's passing, although it's only in 3 hours. So I'm going to wait for the 3 hours to pass and then we're going to go propose, because I don't think he can propose while he's feeling sad. And what's this? Butt hurt from sitting with high maintenance trait. Oh, Brayden. The other thing is I am going to be following what Plumbobs has done in her gameplay, and I am going to continue with the encounter roles at least for 1 year. Because as she mentioned in her videos, crime didn't just stop as soon as the famine was over. So it's going to take a while before things stabilize in the kingdom again. So we are going to keep doing the roles at least for this year. So here's to hoping that Brayden won't get murdered again on his way to go propose. All right, so Brayden is feeling a bit better, and I am going to have him... Oh, Eleonora is calling him. That's sad. Brayden is going to go and visit Fatima along with his mother. Okay. So here we are in the de Lacy household, and we are going to go and knock on the door, even though everybody is standing outside. Quentin is here, but I do not see his father. Oh, there is his father. Okay. So Brayden is going to come and introduce himself to Quentin's father, and I'm also going to have Rosemary do that. Here, we're going to have a cheerful introduction for her. She is going to try and be very charming because they know that they're coming to speak to people who are much better off than they are. But, you know, we are going to try to win him over so that he will allow Fatima to marry Brayden. Oh, and it started off with a good impression, so that's good. No, don't start complaining as soon as you get into the house, Brayden. Oh, and he got a bad first impression of Rosemary. They are going to come and have a seat so that they can have a very important discussion. Okay, here we go. We have got these two finally sitting together. We are going to ask about Fatima. So he's going to tell him that he and Fatima are in love and that he would very much like to marry her. And I think Staunton at first is not going to be receptive to this idea. He probably has plans to have her married to someone who is of a higher standing than Brayden and his peasant family. However, I think we're going to invite Quentin over here as well. I think Quentin may have overheard the discussion and may have come, or at least he's on his way. He'll be here soon. He is going to come to sort of talk him up any day now. Okay, here he is. So Quentin is going to talk up Brayden and remind his father that Brayden saved his life and that they do owe quite a bit to him. And he is also going to confirm that Fatima is also in love with him. Yeah, Brayden is quite happy that his best friend is here to defend him. Wow, I'd love to get to know him. Okay, great. So we are going to keep this conversation going. You know, I think Brayden is also going to explain that he has some plans for his family and for the farm, and he does not intend to be a peasant forever. And of course he left. He left to practice speech. You don't need to do that right now, Staunton. Just come and sit your butt down. Why does he keep complaining about the technological apocalypse? Get over it, Brayden. Here we go. Oh, great. Now, why is she flirty? She's ready for some action. She better not start flirting with Staunton. We don't need that right now. Oh, he has a wand here. He wants to ask Fatima to be his girlfriend. Yes! So, you know what? Staunton is going to listen to Brayden, and he's going to consider that Fatima, of course, is illegitimate, and she doesn't herself really enjoy the rich lifestyle, you know? She is a barfly. I think he has an inkling that she tends to sneak out, and she enjoys going out with peasants. And so I think Staunton, after a long discussion, is going to give him his blessing to ask his daughter to marry him.
Oh, whoopee gorsh.
Whoopee gorsh indeed. All right, so we've got these two in private, and I think he is going to tell her a little bit about... No, he's not going to whisper about his crush on Eleonora. I guess I'm going to go for a deep conversation. You know, he's going to tell her that now that his father has passed away, he is responsible for his family and their well-being, and he considers it his responsibility to get married, and he can think of no one but her for that role. And he's going to just jump in and ask her to be his girlfriend next to this destroyed dollhouse. Oh, she's serious. Oh, I forgot about that. All right, there we go. And so, react to inappropriate behavior. What inappropriate? I just heard the woohoo music. Is something happening? Somewhere? Something inappropriate? No. Okay, Rosemary is here reading a book, and Quentin is chatting with his sister here. Okay, all right. I guess the music was just because she became his girlfriend. No, okay, something weird is happening somewhere. What? They're all reacting to woohoo. But who's woohooing? Oh no, oh, no. No. No, 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 no. I think Staunton did a self woohoo. Oh no. What? What is this? What is happening? Oh gosh, that's so awkward. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have these two continue their conversation over here and not next to Staunton being extremely inappropriate right now. And we'll just say Rosemary is here being the chaperone. He is going to talk to her about marriage again, and then he is going to go for the big question. I love these two so much. Oh. She said yes. All right, so they are now engaged. Yeah, I think these two are going to be a good match. Before jumping in directly to a marriage, I think I'm going to give them a bit of time because he's not actually 16 yet. He's still 15. He's turning 16 tomorrow. Why is the woohoo music on again? He's doing it again. Staunton, stop it. So inappropriate. You have guests over. What is wrong with you? Oh, look at them. Intimately with Fatima. I guess it's dance intimately? Oh. Look at them. I mean, his hands are clipping into her hair and he's got this really weird black shading there, but apart from that, he looks so cute. All right, so our business is done here. I am going to have Brayden and Rosemary return home, especially because I cannot take Staunton being so inappropriate anymore. What? Who's this guy? I don't know why he's just standing outside our house. Oh, and Staunton apparently followed us. Staunton, are you the new Trader Jacques? Are you replacing him in the creepy factor? Oh, right. Okay, wait. We have to do the roll. These two are looking pretty happy. Brayden is now engaged. I think Rosemary is glad that Brayden is taking things in hand and that she knows her children are going to be in safe hands. I mean, she's still here to take care of them and advise them and everything, but Brayden is the one who is really in charge. I think she knows he's going to be doing his best to get his siblings settled. So this is not a good time for a bad encounter. First one doesn't count. We are going to flip to see if we meet someone. And we don't. Thank goodness. That is not something I wanted to deal with just now. All right, so these guys are now home. I am going to have them have a bite to eat. I am going to take a look at what our farm is looking like. And then everybody is slowly going to start going to bed. And I think in the morning, we are going to do the birthday rolls. Unless we get a notification that Gemma has given birth, in which case we are going to look in on her. Oh, the kids are autonomously mourning Frederick. Adriana and Esther. Oh, and here comes Gabriella. Oh boy. A friend has passed. That was your half-brother. I have a feeling that Frederick, their father, was just sort of content with having a bunch of kids. You know, he loved his family, loved his wife, and worked the land and didn't really think any further than that. And I think it's going to fall to Brayden to figure out what to do with all of these guys now. Brayden, I think, is going to be a little more of a planner. Oh, yeah. So since Brayden is going to be getting married, I actually repurposed Wendell's little cabin here so that they are going to have a romantic wedding night when we get there. But yeah, so I think Brayden is going to be a lot more deliberate in how he's going to be planning his family. He's probably not going to have as many kids as his parents did. And he is going to be invested in finding good places for all of his siblings. We are going to have him finish his dinner. We are going to have everybody go to bed. And in the morning, we are going to do the birthdays. So it's currently the night. And we have Frederick here mourning himself. So I guess Frederick is pretty sad about being dead. Maybe he doesn't even realize that he's dead. He doesn't know he's a ghost. All right, so it is now the next morning, and I have gotten our two birthday sims out of bed so that we can do their roles. Of course, the main one that I'm concerned about is Gabriella. The only number she needs to avoid is 7. 3. And she's safe. She makes it to being a teen. Go, Gabriella. We are going to do her marriage and pregnancy rolls right away. And so we are going to start by rolling a d20. 7 means she does get married. And I think it's a d12 to see how many pregnancies she gets. 9 pregnancies. All right, so she is making up for the low pregnancy rate that Stephanie and Frederick got. Let me just write that down real quick, and then we are going to age her up. Actually, since I have the dice roller up, I am going to do little Alexander's roll right away as well. Oh, he's kind of cute. Poor little neglected Alexander. All right, let's go for a d20. He cannot roll a 9 or a 19. 20, and he just makes it. All right. So let's get these two guys aged up and see what they look like. All right, so our dear Gabriella is a child of the nature, delightful, and daydreamer, and she is now insane. No. Nope. That's it. Nope. It just removed it, so I don't know. We'll choose something else at a later time or re-roll it at her next birthday. As for her aspiration, for all the teens, I'm just going to go with one of the teen aspirations. So none of these really fit for her. Actually, maybe she won't go for a teen aspiration. I think she probably matured kind of quickly since she was an orphan at a pretty young age. So I'm just going to go straight for freelance botanist. And here we go. Oops, she aged up with Rosemary's clothing. Okay, let's see what Alexander is going to be. He's a sleuth. Homework obsessed children can follow a hunch. Oh, that's cute. I mean, he can't do his homework, but interrogate others to learn their traits and watch for crime using a telescope. That is such a cool trait. Doesn't really fit for the UDC, but I would love to have this trait in my regular gameplay. Home chef. So he loves cooking and he's judgmental. That's funny. So he's a sleuth and judgmental. Okay, I think I'm going to keep all of these. I like them. Although I guess home chef doesn't really make sense since he's a kid, but that's fine. I think I'm going to go for social so that he can go around asking questions. And oh, he's kind of cute. Oh my god, Gabriella. What happened to your face, baby girl? I feel like she aged up not really looking like anyone. It's like she aged up with a base game face. Alright, it's fine. We're gonna fix her up in Cass and get her out of Rosemary's clothing. Did his hair change color? No, okay. Oh, he's kind of cute though. Okay, she doesn't look as bad as I thought. I think it's the white eyebrows that I don't get. Okay, so here is our lovely Gabriella. I gave her the same hair she used to have and the same clothing so that we keep recognizing her, but I couldn't help giving her a few other outfits because I think she may be the loveliest sim I've ever had the pleasure of playing. This here is little Alexander. I was tempted to keep the old hair that he had, but I mean, he would just be the kid with the ugliest haircut in town, so I decided not to go that way. And so we have Alexander, who looks a little more cute with this haircut. All right, so everybody nope, they're still sleeping. All right, well, since Gabriella is up alone, she is going to come work on the farm. All right, and I forgot to roll for the soil quality, so I might as well do that right now. Oh, and Frederick is still mourning himself. All right, so let's see what kind of soil we have, and that is a crop splight. Well, isn't that great coming out of the famine? Well, it is not going to stop Gabriella from coming to work on her farm. Well, her brother's farm. So Allison here is the last toddler that we have left, and she is going to be aging up into a child next year, which means Stephanie is going to be eligible to get married starting next year because, as I said, she was going to wait for all of her siblings to be a little bit older before she leaves the nest. So we can start planning a wedding event. I'm thinking we might not do it too soon, so maybe not this year, but we could do it. Oh, actually, why not? All right, so we're gonna have to go around asking for a sim of honor, an officiant, claripal, ring bearer, and guests. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do with the rest of the day. We are going to go around asking for people to fill up roles for the wedding. So the first person that we're gonna call is Quentin. He, of course, is going to be our best man. Oh, and Quentin is here already, so we are going to go ask him to be our sim of honor. You know, I used to have the wedding interactions pop up in front of everything all the time, and now suddenly I can't find them anymore. Is it in small talk? There, we're gonna start by enthusing about the upcoming wedding, you know? This means that we are going to be brothers. Yeah, I didn't give any makeovers to the Lacy family yet. I might have to do that before the wedding, otherwise, they're all gonna be eyelashless. Well, according to Reddit, it should be under activities, and it is not under activities. So, once again, I am lost in this pie menu. We are just going to have to pretend that we asked him to be our sim of honor. Alright, so I guess Quentin is just going to be hanging around while our family is having breakfast. It's kind of nice having a year where we don't have to kill anyone. And so far, everybody lived through their birthday rolls. The only thing left is going to be whether Gemma makes it through her labor. And hopefully none of the wedding guests will die when we do the encounter roll for going to the wedding. Let's just enjoy this peaceful little moment after the famine where everybody is recovering and life is good. While we're enjoying this moment of peace, I'd like to take the opportunity to mention a few things. The first one being that some of the Sims I thought I made were actually from the gallery. They've been in my save file for so long that I forgot, so I'm really sorry about that. Eleonora, who is currently carrying Frederick Jr.'s baby, is actually Splendora Marini by Giordano 15 Costan, and her mother Greta is Greta Burke by Virginia Werewolf. And there's also Abel McCartney, who we met at the May Day celebration, and he is by Late Night Writer. I also wanted to give you guys a quick update on the 5 kids in the Baker household who were orphaned during the famine. In the comments section and over on Sleepy's Discord, Higgledy provided some great information regarding inheritance in the 14th century, or at least how it worked in certain areas. So I have a semi-realistic conclusion for these guys. A fellow guild member has become their guardian and is currently responsible for their well-being and for managing their inheritance. The way I've decided to manage this is that I've divided the lot value and household funds in 5, and this is the amount the guardian will be paying out to each orphan once they come of age, which will be at 21 years old when they become young adults. Until then, their guardian can basically use the bakery for his own profit, which is what he intends to do. So he has now moved in here with his daughter Mariana and Vasco, who is the oldest of the Baker orphans. Let's go take a look at these guys. This here is their guardian, Sigurd Branson. He is also a sim I got off the gallery. He is Sigbert Bronson by Mar33NB. His wife and second child were victims of the famine, and so he has moved to Windenburg with his daughter to care for the Baker kids and hopefully start anew. So he is going to be living here with Vasco. Oh, hey, Brayden. And basically showing him the trade as his father would have done. He also arranged places for the other kids, so we can go take a quick look at that as well. The second child in the Baker household is Zane, and he has been sent to the garrison to be a sort of servant for the guards that are there. Now, I don't really know how it worked in these times. I know there was no standing army. I know, there was no professional army. So we're going to go with a more fantasy style and assume that there are men-at-arms stationed here in the service of the king, probably patrolling roads and whatnot. Zane has been sent to them as a servant, to polish armor and fetch water and whatnot. And His guardian is hoping that perhaps one of the guards will take a liking to him and maybe take him under his wing, and when Zane comes into his inheritance, then he might purchase the equipment he needs to officially join the guard. And then we have Lucia and the youngest baker child, Endrio. If you remember, he was the creepy kleptomaniac. Those two were to be sent to Henford, where Branson knows a couple of innkeepers who lost two of their children in the famine and so are now looking for extra help around the inn. So Branson's idea was to send Lucia and Andrio to help them out. However, they never made it. They were supposed to go from the abbey directly to the inn, but they have never arrived, and now Branson does not know. Were they kidnapped? Did they run away? He has no news at all. So he has taken this to the authorities, and he is currently waiting to hear news of their whereabouts. This leaves us with one last kid, and that would be Matteo. Matteo is an occult enthusiast, and he is calm. And so I decided to keep him at the Abbey, where he is going to be helping out with the garden and helping out with the upkeep of the abbey, and Branson is hoping that the priests and the nuns might teach him to read and teach him some skills that he can use later in life. So that was it for the quick update on the Baker children. We are going to head on back to our main household. All right, so we are back with Gabriella, who is still working on this garden, and Noah just sort of hanging out with her, not helping her, of course. This poor guy's fashion choice, I don't know what to do with his clothing. Nothing looks good on him. This looks like clothes that he just found in the trash and doesn't fit together. No, that doesn't really look right either. Well, whatever. Noah has discovered that Gabriella has the secret. Oh, right. He has the nosy trait. Suck it to me. A secret like this should never get out. It's one the public would be up in arms over, or should I say up in feet over. I'm just a collector. It's no big deal. Sure, it's collecting socks, and sure, it's collecting socks that aren't mine, but how is that a crime? I find them in the lost and found at different places around town. It's completely harmless. I just love the patterns, the fabrics, the ankle height. Okay. Okay, Gabriella. We knew you were a little bit strange, so it's fine. You can collect socks if you want to. I'm not really sure what Noah's supposed to do with this information. Like, is he really gonna... Hi, Stephanie. Let me join Barrow Farm. What do you think? Is this Brandon asking if he can become part of the family? Sorry, but I'm not ready for that yet. Gabriella acquired the blacksmithing skill? Well, okay then. So even as a teen, Noah still has this obsession to come and mourn people. Of course, he's mourning his father, which is fine. It hasn't even been a year. Oh, was I supposed to put a seat there? I probably was. She's spinning yarn all the way over here. Oops. Oh, this is a rabbit pie that she made. Her cooking skill is getting a lot better after she almost burned the house down. These two are just chilling out here. I think my computer can't deal with the autonomy of this many Sims. Oh, Stephanie's playing Symbols all on her own. I'm gonna have Gabriella come and join her. I like that Stephanie has a happy +1 moodlet from winning Symbols, but she was playing on her own. So it looks like she won against herself. That's a really great accomplishment, Stephanie. I'm happy for you. Oh, Eleonora just gave birth to a baby girl. Sabrina Miller. I'm not sure how medieval that is. Maybe just Brina? Whatever. I like Sabrina. Okay, Sabrina Miller it is. And just one child. I'm kind of on the fence about doing the birth rolls because Frederick rolled not to have any children. Oh boy, his phone. Eleanor here, just wanted to let you know that I had a beautiful baby girl. All right, so Frederick rolled not to have children. So this is why I will not have him marry Eleonora. Since the child will never be part of an official side household, I kind of just wanted to let her live for free and she'll only go through the event roles like the Black Plague, but not the birthday rolls, since she won't ever be able to inherit anyways. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Should I roll for her anyways, or should I just let it go so that we have this illegitimate little child running around somewhere? I am going to be following the role that Frederick had, so he is not going to ever have children who can inherit after him. This is just to know whether or not we are going to let Eleonora and her little baby girl live in peace or not. Brayden just got a sentiment with his mom, so I guess he's feeling really thankful that she's there to help him out now that he's just trying to navigate being the head of the household and being in charge of this farm. Look at Esther, she looks so confident. She's focused, right, because she's determined. I wonder what we're gonna do with this little girl. I think she might try to marry well. She might be a little bit like her older brother Brayden and have some ambition, and she might eventually be determined to marry up. And she's spinning the yarn all the way from over here while Gabriella is mining again. We have reached the halfway mark for this year, so I am going to be leaving this part here. So far, we've had Brayden get engaged, and we had Frederick, who has had a child with Eleonora. Of course, he sent her away, but that doesn't mean she isn't going to be coming back. I have a feeling he might be in a little more trouble than he thinks he is. In the second half of the year, we still have Gemma, who is probably going to be giving birth very soon. And at the very end of the year, I plan to have Brayden's wedding celebration. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.